Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Elric. We're playing Throne and Liberty. So with the NA release coming out in September, I just wanted to go over a few things. So like today on this video, what we're gonna go over is we're gonna go over traits. Traits on armor, traits on weapons, traits on accessories. So the way traits work, you're gonna start out, you're gonna get white gear. Once you get to your green gear, you can add traits on them. So for the green gear, instead of having like 3 traits like I have here with 4 slots on them, green items are all gonna have just 2 traits here with being able to go up to 2 stacks on each trait. And then when you hit blues, you're gonna have 3 traits that can go up 3 times. And then on your purples, you're gonna have 4 traits that can go up 4 times. So it's very important to fill out your traits because the traits on the weapons give you huge increase in damage, and on armors they also increase either endurance or evasion for certain things. So first we're going to explain how to unlock all your traits, and then we're going to explain what the traits actually do. So first things first, to unlock the traits on your weapons, so for instance, this silent tracker daggers here, I have 1 trait unlocked, and then I have 2 locked traits. So in order for me to unlock the other 2 traits on here, if I click my trait list, it'll show me what traits I can get on it. I already have hit on it. So the other 2 that I'd put on here would be crit hit and heavy attack chance. But in order for me to unlock those 2 locked traits, I have to get the exact same item with a different trait on it to unlock one of those locked traits, or I can get an extract of the item, but it has to be the same item. Okay, so basically I need 2 more silent trackers, 1 with crit hit to unlock that locked one, and 1 with heavy attack to unlock that locked one. So once you unlock all 3 of those traits, then you need to level up your traits. So you can level up your traits one of 2 ways. You can either feed a purple item with that trait into it to unlock the second or the third or the fourth. Or what you can do is you can feed green items of the same trait into it. Now, when you feed blue items, not green. If you're doing purple, you want to do blue items into it. A blue item going into a purple, though, for a trait only gives you a 10% chance, versus a purple into a purple is a 100% chance. But the nice thing is, so anytime you go to trait something, and say you fail. So if I go into here, I'd hit trait, I click this one. Say I'd go to put a blue weapon with critical hit into this one, it's only got a 10% chance to succeed, but if it fails, it's going to give you blessings. So basically the way it works is, if I go to throw a blue item into here, I'm going to end up getting 40 blessings, right? So the 40 blessings stack each time I fail. So if I fail 10 times, I'll have 400 blessings. It's about 440, I believe, or 480 to use the blessing. So once you stacked up enough of those blessings, when you click use blessing, it'll bring you up, instead of a 10% chance, you can get up to a 100% chance. Which, that ends up being cheaper if you're trying to say like heavy attack's a lot more expensive than critical hit. So like what I'd do is I'd buy a ton of blue items that have the critical hit, and I'd feed the blue critical hits into the purple to level up my trait. And then once I had enough blessing, I'd use a blue with heavy attack, and I'd use the blessing for a 100% chance. So you can either feed 10%ers in there hoping they're hitting and build your blessing for another trait for free, or you can feed purples into purples for a 100% chance. Also, the other thing I want to talk about is transferring, but we'll get to that after we explain the different traits. So the way traits work is depending on what it is. So your weapon can have a bunch of different traits on it. Obviously, cooldown speed's good, heavy attack chance, critical hit, and hit are all good. Personally, I don't run mana regen or Animalia bonus damage because I just feel like they're not useful. And the same thing for the bow. The bow I run attack speed though. I gave up my hit for it because it seems like a lot more people endgame right now are running endurance on their armor. But let's explain how the armor works now. So armors, depending on what type of armor it is, right? So if it is leather like I'm wearing now, so for leather you can only get ranged evasion or endurance and magic evasion or endurance. The cooldown speed is kind of just the bonus one. So basically, like, since I run all leather, I'm stacking magic and ranged endurance. And so that works with leather. Leather only gets ranged and magic, right? And then if you go, say I wanted to go with heavy armor. Heavy armor only has melee and heavy armor only has melee and ranged traits on it. And then your cloth only has melee and magic on it. So there's always a rock paper scissors to this game. Like, you know, if you're melee and you're running plate, you're not gonna have any magic defense. So mages are gonna blow you up. If you're, say, like I am a bow user, I'm running all leather for super glass cannon damage build, but I have no melee anything. So if a great sword or a tank jumps on me, I'm gonna die. So it's basically a rock paper scissors game. But as far as like whether you want endurance or evasion, that's really the question. And like it all depends on who you're fighting, right? If a guy you're fighting is stacking a ton of hit, your evasion's not going to do a whole lot because their hit's so high that you're just not going to evade. So hit negates evasion, and then endurance negates your critical hit. So if what endurance does is it just makes people not crit on you if you have high enough endurance. But if they're running a ton of hit, then they'll be able to crit on you. So it really is up to you. You kind of got to feel out like how your server's built. If more people are running evasion or endurance, depends on whether you want to run hit or crit. And depending what they're running for hit or crit depends on what you want to run for evasion or endurance. So there's a lot of things to, you know, figure out in here. And then also you have your stats. So if you have over 50 strength, you get an extra 100 heavy attack chance, which is about 10% chance more to heavy attack. A heavy attack, when you hit somebody, it does double damage. Dex, depending how high you have it, gives you extra stuff. So like for me, I'm getting extra crit, bonus damage, and move speed. Wisdom I don't really use because I main dagger bow. And then perception, when I'm running my dagger bow, I'm running 60 perception. That way I have the extra hit 120, and then I have extra range too. And then as far as traits go too on your accessories, so my cape I'm running skill damage resist, which gives me 80 skill damage resist is basically about 8% less damage. Debuff duration, obviously when I get debuffed it takes less time for it to come off, and then I have silence resistance. For my belt, I like to do the max health, the skill damage resistance, and stack more debuff duration. Same thing for the necklace, except instead of skill damage reduction, it's actually skill damage boost and buff duration. The bracers are going to be the skill damage resistance and debuff duration. and the rings are going to be the buff duration, the max health, and the damage boost. So like in this game, your health actually matters for a lot of things. Like if you're in PvP and you have less than 10k health, you're probably going to get one shot. Even with 13.5k health, I still can get one shot comboed by greatsword users. So that's pretty much all I have today for traits. Thank you guys for watching. Hope this video was informative. Have a good day.